Welcome to the free Super Tips World Cup preview here for the 2018 tournament in Russia. I'm joined by Steve Freeth from Bet365. Ray Parlour, former professional, of course, Arsenal legend, is here with us as well, and Dean Goddard, who you recognise from free Super Tips. Let's talk about the groups now. Of course, very popular bets. Who's going to win the group? Perhaps who's going to qualify from the groups? We're going to go through each of the 8 groups and get a forecast for you, a first and second idea. Let's start with Group A. We'll start with Steve at the end, first of all, shall we? Russia, the hosts, obviously, in this one, Steve, but I'm guessing you'll fancy that Uruguay might win this group, Group A.
Yeah, I'm backing Russia not to qualify in zone 9-4 with Bet365. I like Uruguay at tips on. I think they might be a little bit shorter come the day as well. You know, we know about their forward line, don't we, as well? There's experience there. Gus Godin at the back. I like the midfield. And I think they are very capable of winning this group. I want to be against Russia. So many question marks.
Egypt players. Second then?
Egypt for me, yeah. Mo Salah, why not?
Yeah.
He's our worst result in the top goal scorer market. I know they're quite reliant on him, of course. Player that I've seen a lot this season, Hegazi, plays for them. I'll be surprised if he's still in the Championship. If I'm a club in mid-table Premier League club, I'm buying Hegazi. I think he's listen, he's a centre half who got relegated, but I'm saying I like the player. Ramadan there at Stoke, El Neni, of course, at your side as well. I think they're capable. They do travel a lot of miles, though. 5,700 miles they travel in the group stages, which I see down as a slight negative. But I want to be against Russia and, of course, the Saudi Arabia as well. Of course, I want to be against as well. Okay. So it's Uruguay to win the group at 10-11.
Uruguay, Egypt, your forecast?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Ray Parlour, how do you see Group A panning out?
Well, I think Egypt's delighted that they're in the World Cup. That's for one. And I travelled to Egypt recently, and if they can get through this group, it'd be like a national holiday in their nation. So that's there's not much expectation from Egypt. But I just think Russia, being in our own backyard, I just think they're going to find something. And I do expect them to qualify. I do agree with Steve that Uruguay will be top of the group. But I've just got to go because it's in Russia.
Russia be second then?
I'm going to go Russia second.
It's a fair point. There's only one host who hasn't qualified out of the group ever in World Cup
I just think
history.
they'll find a little bit extra.
Mm.
They'll make sure they find a little bit extra.
Have Egypt not won a World Cup match? Looking back, they've not got a great record, have they? Of winning. I mean, they qualified quite a few times, but they seem to struggle, don't they?
They always seem to get to the playoffs, didn't they? Remember they played England in 1990, that Mark Wright header? I seem to remember back in the day.
Okay, so with Ray's going to go then with Uruguay to win and Russia to be second.
Yeah.
Dean, how do you see Group A panning out?
Well, I'm really worried because I'm in agreement with Freethy yet again. It's baffling me. All those years we worked together, never agreed on anything. And suddenly we can't stop. Uruguay for us, Egypt for second, Russia. Barring the positive of playing at home, I can't see anything.
It's
in
a
this
massive
squad.
advantage.
It is.
Of course it is.
Obviously,
big advantage.
They've also got a lot of injuries though coming into this tournament. I've been reading.
Yeah.
Egypt, we actually think Egypt could be a fair price for top African team. I think they're around 9-4. They might well be the only African team that qualifies out of the group stages. So if you've backed on the top African team, you've won, as early as that. Uruguay, we don't have to go on and on about Cavani, Suarez, Godin. We know how good they are. I've got no problem with Uruguay winning the group.
But even money, is it, Steve, Uruguay?
10 tips on.
10-11.
10-11.
Yeah, that's a fair price.
Yeah, definitely.
That is.
Feels it, yeah.
Right.
Egypt for second. I think the forecast is around 5-6 to 1. Uruguay, Egypt forecast. I think that's not a bad poke.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so there we go.
Uruguay, Egypt 6-1. Bet365.
Yeah.
Dean also going with the Uruguay-Egypt forecast. Ray disagreeing though. Ray's
I'm going to go Russia.
With Russia to get second place, followed by Uruguay. A popular choice to win Group A with the panel here. Let's move on, shall we, to Group B then. Of course, we see the Iberian derby in this one. Portugal up against Spain. I'll start with Dean to my left this time. I mean, do you see those two? I'd imagine you see those two going through, I know, because you fancy Spain and Portugal. But in what order would you have them?
It's a close call, isn't it? You've got to go with Spain topping the group. I mean, Spain are our outright selection, Portugal are our outside, so we're obviously going to go with those two to progress. Morocco and Iran don't, fill you with any sort of confidence, do they, really?
Spain around, what are they, 4-7 to win it? 8-13?
2-1, Anthony, 2-1.
Okay.
I think the forecast, what's that, 5-4, Spain to beat Portugal? I think it's
decent.
That's around 5-4 shot, is it?
Yeah, we're just going to get that checked.
Spain, Portugal, 5-4.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I think a lot of punters will be on that.
I can't see any shock. So you
there
get
won't be a
some
shock in
groups,
this
you
one.
know.
There won't be a shock in this one. Morocco would be the only ones who really can probably.
What I will say about Iran, the manager is Carlos Queiroz, of course, who knows
very well.
Ronaldo very well indeed, and they kept plenty of clean sheets in qualifying. In fact, I think the first goals they conceded was in the they're already qualified. I think when they, when they'd done that. And if you remember the last World Cup when it took Lionel Messi till injury time to get a very, very late winner against them as well. So let's give them plenty of respect as well.
Are they favourites to get through, or?
They're fourth. Yeah, I think they're fourth favourites, Ray. So
Morocco.
Steve, you think Morocco could? I mean, they've got the Juventus player, haven't they? Is it Mehdi Benatia plays for?
Yeah.
Yes, they have. Yeah,
he's a good player, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he's one of their leading lights.
And Sace at Wolves, Boufal at Southampton, of course. Yeah.
Do you think? You're thinking that Morocco might squeeze through behind Spain?
Well, I'm not saying. I'd say underestimate Morocco and Iran as well at your peril. Morocco, of course, have got Ziyech. He's highly regarded from Ajax as well, who scored a lot of goals. He might be on penalties as well, so maybe look out for him to be top Moroccan goal scorer. The gaffer's also very well known. He's won 2 African Cup of Nations. There's no mug in charge here. This is a good gaffer. So yes, we are expecting Spain and Portugal to absolutely hose up in this.
But they play each other first, don't they?
Yes,
which is going to be a big factor in the.
Of course, you'd get 3 points on the board all of a sudden. Then, so I'm tempted not to play the forecast personally. I'm just not totally sold on Portugal just yet, and interested to see how the other two do.
Okay, Steve, a bit more wary then about playing this obvious forecast. I mean, Ray, how do you see it? Obviously, a lot depends, I guess, on that Portugal-Spain match, which is on the 15th of June. It's the second day of the World Cup.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. The other teams will be trying to take advantage of if it's a draw or but I just can't see past Spain and Portugal.
In that order?
I think they've got too much experience. Morocco have got decent players, and Iran, as Steve says there, but I think they've got too much quality, too much experience. And I think these two, 5-4 for the forecast, to be a decent price.
Okay, so there you go. Both Ray and Dean thinking the Spain-Portugal forecast is a good bet at 5-4. Steve thinks there might be a shot, maybe Morocco to surprise in Group B. Let's go on, shall we, to Group C, of course. Hot favourites here to win it, Steve. France, but we've talked about France in the outright section. A few people perhaps doubting their squad this time around. How do you see Group C going?
2-7. You like an odds-on pokers,
I've got them in my group ACCA, yeah.
Yeah, are you smashing into them?
I'm not smashing them. They're in my group ACCA, France.
Yeah.
2-1. Yeah. I just think they'll have too much for it. I just look at Australia and I think...
Well, listen, Denmark have got the advantage of playing Peru and Australia first.
Yes.
So,
and they were impressive against Ireland in the playoff, weren't they, Denmark as well?
Yeah, of course, they demolished them. And Eriksson, of course, he was their main man. He got 11 goals in qualifying and was so good in those games against Ireland. They can mix it up a little bit. They can go long, or they can obviously play it in the middle of the park. Christensen, of course, who's done well at the end of the season towards at Chelsea. I think he played full-back against Ireland. He might play centre-half.
He's not been playing now, is he? He's been leaving him out.
No, exactly.
Believe it or not.
Yeah. And Schmeichel in goal as well. And they didn't start the group well, Anthony, when they were beaten at Poland and at home to Montenegro, but they finished it in style, beating both of those sides. And the most eye-catching one was a 4-0 win against Poland. So if I'm brave enough, I could be back in Denmark to win the group. I'm not going to be brave enough. I'm going to go with a classy side on their day, who of course are fantastic. I'll probably stick with Denmark to qualify.
Denmark to qualify.
Yeah, that would probably be the way
What
that
about
played.
Australia? I mean, obviously we know about Aaron Moy, Huddersfield, Tim Cahill, and Millie Jedinak, of course, was involved for Villa, wasn't he, in the playoff?
Yeah. Don't remind me. I'm sure the Villa fans will enjoy that. He's been excellent. Jedinak and Cahill scored in the last World Cup. In fact, Tim Cahill needs to score at this World Cup to score in his 4th consecutive World Cup.
Can you rely on 38-year-old though? I mean,
No.
he's not getting that a little bit old. He's their main man.
I think he's also 4th in the list of most cards at a World Cup as well. So he likes to put his foot in. But to be in the same class as Pelé and closer as well, if he does that, it's a great feat, and fair play to him for keeping so fit. But I'm not sure how often he'll play. Jedinak was brilliant for Villa, just sitting in front of the back four. Scored a hat-trick in one game. I think it was Honduras, which was the fact that they qualified. It's great for them. Will they finish bottom? No, they won't. I think Peru are the bet to finish 13-8 because of the player that they've lost, Paulo Guerrero, their top goal scorer in qualifying.
Yeah.
His ban has been extended rather than shortened. We'd expected him to play. He's not playing now. He's a real talisman for them. That's a big blow for Peru as well, and I'm expecting them to finish 13-8. My probably best bet of the group will be Peru. Finish bottom.
Peru to be bottom.
Yes.
Okay, that's Steve's bet in the group. Dean, your thoughts on this group? Do you see France winning it comfortably?
Yeah, I mean, we discussed earlier in the outright market that they've got their frailties from an outright perspective, but they're a class above anyone in this group. I think this is one of the most obvious.
Yeah.
First and second, France
win,
win, Denmark second.
What price is that, the forecast?
That's around 6-4.
6-4,
I think it's a 6-4 shot. I don't think that's bad at all. Because France are well above Denmark, and you've got to look at Denmark being well above the other two.
6-4, bet 365.
You've also
Dino,
got the bonus. They're the two European teams in the group, you know, on the same.
And I'm looking forward to
continent.
seeing Eriksen. Yeah, what a season he's had at Spurs. And, he's
And
been
that
so,
playoff match against Ireland we mentioned, he was just unbelievable.
we talk
wasn't he?
about certain players who are going to be so influential, Messi's for Argentina and people like that. But you know, I think Eriksen is going to be very important if Denmark can go a long way in this tournament. The problem is they haven't got really an out-and-out goal scorer, have they?
No.
They keep
Jorgensen.
chopping and changing.
Yeah,
Bentner, he's even got some opportunities. So I think that's their problem. I think they're good in midfield. They're efficient in midfield, got good quality in there. But the striker department, I think they're struggling.
Fair shame.
Yeah.
And of course, the France-Denmark game is the last game, isn't it, in the Lucenay Stadium? So they'll probably know what they need to do by that could even sort of peter out into a
So
draw.
I could see a little double coming up here. I'm thinking Spain and Portugal, and maybe
Forecast double.
France and Denmark.
Forecast double.
There we go.
You take that, Freefy?
Yeah, all day
Check
long.
his liabilities there.
all day long from you two clowns.
Checking your accounts, any money in it or not at the moment. But, okay, so we're going to go.
Just
We're going to go the forecast. You think France to beat Denmark?
France, Denmark.
9-2 the double.
Ray, France
Yeah,
to beat Denmark.
I go France, Denmark. Yep.
Steve, Peru to be bottom.
Peru bottom.
Peru bottom of the group, which is 13.
13-8.
13-8.
Big loss.
So where's Australia coming in?
Yeah. all right, Carol Vorderman. All right.
Second.
Australia to be third. We'll go with that then. Well, there we go. That's the thoughts on that particular group. Both Dean and Ray confident with the France-Denmark forecast. Steve paying Peru to be the whipping boys of Group C. Let's go to Group D then. This looks a bit more interesting, doesn't it? Argentina up against Iceland, Croatia, who I know Ray fancies to go a long way, and Nigeria as well. Let's talk about Nigeria, Steve, first of all. I mean, what are your thoughts on them? Their first match is against the Croatians.
Came through a tough group. Cameroon, Algeria. So, respect for that. Still reliant on John Obi Mikel, who's still there dictating play. And Didi at Leicester's got an injury. That's a blow for them. So they're hopeful that he's going to be fit. And some players that we know from Premier League. One player who's finished the season very well, Iheanacho. He's finished the season well there, hasn't he? They'll be looking to him for goals. Iwobi, a player that you know well, Ray.
Well, Iwobi's been a different player for Nigeria. I mean, he seems to play a different sort of role for them and much more influential.
Yeah, he got two against Argentina.
At Arsenal, a lot of the fans are saying, well, what does he actually do? I mean, and there's been a lot of criticism from at Arsenal when he puts an Arsenal shirt on, but Nigeria, when he puts that shirt on, he seems a little bit more, they rely on him a little bit more than they do probably at Arsenal. And he's certainly, you look at Moses as well.
It's the same with
Chelsea.
Moses. He plays a lot more further forward than in his wing-back role for them. And we haven't got prices up yet for top goal scorer, but I will be looking to back Moses. He might take penalties as well for them to be top Nigerian goal
They're
scorer.
quite a free-flowing team, aren't they, Nigeria? I think they play on the break. They've got good energy. But again, they look at this group and say, well, it's a tough one to get out of.
They've been unlucky, haven't they, to get drawn in this group.
Absolutely.
There could be worse teams in the last 16 than them.
10-1 to win it at Bet 365, 9-4 to qualify. So 7-5 to finish bottom. So it is a tough ask for them, and the goalkeeper situation as well. So it isn't ideal, but hopefully they'll have a go and Moses gets on the score sheet.
So that's your bet for the group. You think Moses top Nigerian scorer?
No, it's not my bet for the no.
Okay, no. We'll come back to your bet for the group again. Ray, let's come to you. Argentina, what, they 4-6 to win the group?
8-13.
8-13. What would you be playing in?
I still think they have no problem. I mean, I know Croatia, I've tipped them to maybe go a long way in the tournament. I expect them to get through as well. Iceland, brilliant, absolutely fantastic. The nation's getting stronger and stronger all the time.
Great Euros, as we know.
Well, they're 10% of their nation turn up at the Euros and enjoy.
That'll be the thing that come out. Their population and the fact that the gaffer is a dentist.
Well,
I guarantee you.
It's amazing to what they've achieved, with the population they have got. And they're going to get stronger and stronger as a nation. I mean, mate, you look in 4 years' time, 8 years' time, they could be a decent bet. To go a long way in the tournament, but at the moment it's a little bit. Again, they look at this group as a really tough group. They'll be trying to upset people like they did against England, but I just can't see past Argentina. I think they just have enough quality, and I'm going to go for Nigeria to have a little bit of bad luck by getting this group, and Croatia to go through with them.
Yeah. So the Argentina-Croatia forecast then?
Yeah.
What are we looking at there still? We'll get Steve on the odds check again for that one. Argentina to be
Argentina first, Croatia second, 7-4.
7-4.
You putting that in with your treble, Razor?
Yeah, that could be good. 7-4. It's building.
Yeah.
Building a nice little.
Ray's going to have an 8-fold by the time.
15-1 currently the treble.
Okay, there we go.
Better go to the liabilities manager. Hold on.
Dee, we'll come to you. Obviously, I think a lot depends, this group, on the match on the 21st of June, doesn't it? When Argentina play Croatia, that's sort of in the middle of the series. That could sort of define the group, couldn't it?
Yeah, we think Croatia might be a bit of value here. I'd say we spoke in the outrights about the frailties of Argentina's defence, etc. And we think Croatia are a very solid outfit. Nigeria merit the utmost respect. Croatia, Argentina forecast, I think that's 7-2. I think that might be worth a poke in this.
Okay.
But I'd
9
also
to 4
be
Croatia to win the
interested.
group, I think, Steve, aren't they? With you, 9 to 4?
9 to 4.
To win the group, Croatia.
Yeah,
Okay.
they are, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we think Croatia could topple Argentina. Nigeria are booked for third, and I'd be interested in a price for Iceland to finish bottom. So if Steve can get on that
Favourites.
place for us.
Wouldn't be huge.
6 to 5 to finish bottom.
6-5 to finish bottom.
I think the question marks about Sigurdsson, his form. He's the main man for them. Without a shadow of a doubt. Hasn't played fantastically well. Injuries as well. Gunnarsson, who loves putting it about in the middle of the park and got long throws as well. He missed the end of the season. He's another injury blow.
There's more goals in Nigeria than there is in Iceland.
Yeah, Arneson as well, who's like 35 and played for Aberdeen and Plymouth and the teams like that.
Yeah.
Without being disrespectful, he's had a great career. But I suppose you see them play at the Euros and their togetherness, them and the fans. There's. You got to admire that, but I can see why some people might want to back Iceland at 6 to 5 to finish bottom.
Okay, bet time then for the group. Steve,
I'll go with Moses. I've
talked
talked him up. I've talked Moses up, so I'm going to go for him to be top Nigerian goal scorer.
Nigerian
I'm
goal
hoping
scorer.
for double figures.
Okay, it could be a big price. Ray, I mean, you like the forecast, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to go to
7
7 to 4 on Argentina, and a lot of favourites are coming in. But I think the favourites are going to go through to the next stages. A lot of the favourites in the groups, and I'm going to go for Croatia to come second.
Okay.
Argentina to top the group.
Okay.
Well, we're going to go for a bit
Croatia?
of value here.
Go
Free
on.
super tips value. 7-2, Croatia to win the group and Argentina second.
Fair share.
There we go.
We're agreeing, Goddard.
Again.
Again.
It's worrying.
I
It's
think
worrying,
we're tempted as well by Iceland to be bottom. I think we're all tempted by that, aren't we?
Yeah.
Iceland to be bottom.
Put them in
the
a double with, what was it, Peru that you mentioned to be
Yeah,
bottom?
30
There you
to
go.
8,
So many
yeah.
bets available, aren't there? Just
Yeah.
so much we could get stuck into. So that's our thoughts then on Group D. We're thinking that it will be Argentina and Croatia to go through, but the guys disagreeing about in which particular order. Let's go on to Group E, of course. This one looks a bit more clear-cut. Brazil must be one of the shortest price group favourites, are they?
2 to 7, same price as France.
Okay.
I know we're one back in.
Brazil.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
7,000 for 2?
Well, I'm more £7 to win 2, Anthony. I'm not quite in your wage bracket yet, or weight bracket, fortunately. I mean, we've talked about it, haven't we? All the way through. The pedigree that they've got, and this cheat sheet, the gaffer that they like extremely. So I don't see. I want to be against the Swiss.
Do you?
I want to be against the Swiss.
No.
Well, you look
We've
at
got them booked
Serbia.
in for second.
Serbia, Costa Rica. Can they cause an upset? Probably not.
I think Serbia qualify. That will be my bet in this. 6 to 5, Serbia. I know the Swiss started off well by beating Portugal. Ronaldo didn't play in that. We had the controversial penalty against Northern Ireland as well, didn't we? Corey Evans, and then Johnny Evans had one cleared off the line late on. The centre forward gets a load of stick. Severovic, he gets absolute. He does get pelters, but they're going to be reliant on him. He finished top goal scorer. I think he might have got 4 in qualifying.
What about this youngster they've got, Switzerland up front, this Brill Mbolo?
Yeah, he's had a few injuries, hasn't he?
Yeah, but he's meant to be
talent,
like another
talent,
Lukaku,
yeah.
isn't he?
And let's not forget Shaqiri, of course, who on his day,
Yeah.
we've seen some great goals from him as well. I've seen a lot of him. So if he has a going day, then of course he could be a talent. But I do like Serbia. They're top of the group that with Ireland and Wales were in. But one defeat away at Austria, I think it was. The manager's changed, which is a little bit frustrating. I think because they want to integrate the younger players into the team as well. They've got some great ability. Mitrovic, as we know, who scored 6 goals in qualifying, has had a brilliant end to the season as well. Now he's getting first team football as well. They played against Nigeria at Barnet recently, and he scored 2 goals as well. So
They do rely heavily on him.
No,
though,
they
don't
do. Yeah.
But I don't see much backup if he's not on form or suspended or injured or anything.
No, but maybe Tadic can step up to the plate, and they've got a youngster also playing as well, who's also very, very high regarded. Milinkovic-Savic, who's the guy who the managers came in. He's came in because he's got to integrate the younger players, and he's certainly the star man for that. So clearly, it's a lot. Hopefully, it's a lot easier on the eye than he is to speak about. Believe me, because his name's quite a mouthful. But you're looking at the squad; they've got
Decent.
Yeah, they've got a good. And Kolarov's captain now because Ivanovic has been binned off by this new manager as well. So he's certainly laid a few things down, this new gaffer. So I think at 6 to 5, over the Swiss to qualify for me beyond Brazil.
Okay, I guess they race Switzerland have had their best ever qualifying
Yeah, I
campaign.
thought they done. Yeah, joint points with Portugal, didn't they? I'm going to go against Steve. I think Switzerland are a very hard-working side. I think they're excellent, as we mentioned. The forward line is the worry. That's their weakest part of the team. Midfield are pretty strong. Shaqiri, Zuba. creative players
Granit
in there.
Xhaka's in there as well.
Xhaka's in
Right.
there, yeah, midfield, who's, you know, he's decent on the ball.
Fullbacks are
but I
great.
like the fullbacks the
Yeah.
best. I mean, Lichtsteiner.
Lichtsteiner,
You
yeah.
saw him when
Yeah.
he come on against Spurs in the Champions League. You know, he bombs on. He's like a winger, really, but he's also can defend well. Rodriguez from Milan, who's an excellent fullback as well. So I just think they've got a little bit more quality. I know Serbia will push them close, but I'm probably going to stick with Switzerland to qualify. I think that the campaign of qualifying has really given them a little bit of confidence and belief to maybe get through this group. And I think the fans would definitely expect them to get through this group, Switzerland.
Do you think your Brazil-Switzerland fourcast here?
Yes, I'm going to go for Brazil.
It's a fourfold there, right? 7-4.
I told you
7-4.
it'd be an eightfold.
41 to 1 at the moment.
I might have a lot of singles and doubles as well, just in case.
Okay, I mean, Dean, Switzerland always seem to have a very high world. I think they were ranked fourth in the world, weren't they, at one point
Yeah.
last year? I think they're only about 9 or 10 now. It's strange, isn't it? They always seem to have such a high world ranking in Switzerland.
I don't know where they get that from. Take no notice of the rankings, Enzo. But yeah, I think this is one of the hardest groups actually to get your runners-up spot. Brazil, yeah, they'll win the group. Costa Rica aren't, you know, no back
Not
number.
terrible,
You know,
No.
they can
Turned
put it
England
up
over,
to
haven't
these.
They could
Yeah.
upset a few people.
Well, they've got a great keeper in Keylor Navas, of course, who's their best known player, and he's had a great
Second in their
career.
qualifying group, weren't they, behind Mexico? I would prefer Switzerland over Serbia myself,
Okay.
as Ray said. So, yeah, we think they've got a solid... I think Switzerland are quite solid without being spectacular, aren't they?
Hard-working
You know?
side.
They play Brazil first, though, don't they, Switzerland? So they could obviously
Yeah.
be a defeat, and then the second game's going to be key because they play Serbia, don't they, second match. A lot
So
to
the pressure
on
could
that.
be on.
Massive pressure.
But there's nothing saying they won't nick a draw against Brazil. You know these opening matches are a bit tight, and I think Switzerland will go out for a draw.
Okay.
So
How are you playing it?
we're going Brazil-Switzerland, but not as confident as some of the groups.
No.
Okay. Cutting your stakes down, maybe, for that one.
Yeah.
So Brazil, Switzerland for Ray.
Keep it
Yeah,
and
I'm going
Dean.
with
No more gags, no more steak.
I only do it once.
Right.
That's it. It's enough.
You use those jokes for years and years to come. What's
Yeah.
going to be your bet then for the group?
Serbia to qualify.
Serbia to qualify.
Yeah.
Okay, 6 to 5.
6 to 5, bet
6 to
365.
There we go. That's our thoughts then on Group E. Steve Freeth going for Serbia to qualify. Ray and Dean think it will be a Brazil-Switzerland straight forecast, those two, to make it through to the round of 16 for the World Cup in Russia. Let's move on, shall we, to Group F. I know that myself and Ray fancy Germany to win the tournament. So I'll start with Ray this time around. I mean, the Germans, we know, Ray, so strong in all departments. Great qualifying record. Hard to see past them for Group F.
Yeah, absolutely. You think they're, they've got the hardest game first, Mexico probably, which will be a difficult game for them. Sweden, they've got Korea at the end. So you expect them, South Korea, they'll be resting players, ready for that last 16. They should be easily qualified by then. But we always talk about resting players, but they've got such good backup to come into the side as well. So I'm expecting Germany, I think they're 2 to 5, are they?
Steve, to win the group, what price
win
are
the
we,
group?
Germany?
1 to 3.
1 to 3, okay. 1 to 3 to win the group, which is, again, I'd probably rather back Germany than, France probably, who are 2 to 7. So I think Germany would be too strong for a lot of these countries. I know it's a little bit more...
Is the second place more open for this group?
Yeah, I think Sweden are going to push Mexico. I think Sweden have done so well to get to the World Cup, and they've got a decent squad. Mexico will be the ones who everybody will look at them. Got a lot of experience. A lot of their players have played in Europe for the last 5 years, so they know exactly what they've got to do. 2 tough midfielders always play Mexico, and they've got good attacking ability to go forward. Obviously, Chicharito, who's not been playing on a regular basis.
They've got Carlos Vela as well, haven't they? Mexico,
Carlos Vela.
ex-Arsenal.
Chicharito's probably their main player.
Vela made 3 starts for Arsenal and scored 3 goals.
And where's he playing now?
He's at... Good question. Is he? I don't actually know.
Is he in
where
Spain?
he
Is he in
somewhere.
Spain somewhere? Or
Yeah.
he was a Betis or something?
I do remember him having 3 starts at West Brom and scoring 2 injury time goals against Wolves and Stoke. I do remember that back, but he's still going strong. But they have got a star man called Lorenzo, who's
Lorenzo's good.
He's
Yeah.
been brilliant. For
LA, I think he's actually just thinking about it. Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
And it could come down to the last game of this group.
Yeah.
Mexico played Sweden in their last game, which could be the
All to play
decider,
for, yeah,
all to
for
play
second,
for
yeah.
who qualifies, which would be an unbelievable game to watch.
Okay.
But again, I think Mexico will be the favourites, slight favourites to go through along with Germany.
So you're thinking the Mexicans will scrape through?
I think they might scrape through. I think
Okay.
this last game is all going to play for in the last qualifying game, Mexico-Sweden, which should be. Do you think Mexico might get the better of Sweden?
But Germany to run away with the group?
Yeah, I think Germany be home and hosed, and I'm going to go Mexico come second.
Okay, Germany-Mexico forecast there. You like to straight forecast for the groups, does Ray Parlour. Steve, I want to talk to you a little bit about South Korea, of course. They're in the group as well. We should mention them. They, of course, stunned the world when they were fourth in 2002 on home soil. They knocked out Italy and Spain, I think, didn't they, in that tournament?
That was a strange tournament, wasn't it? I think they're 40-1 to get knocked out the semi-final stage.
Ninth World Cup in a row, though. They seem to always qualify, obviously, but then...
Yeah, they're 5 to 6 to finish bottom. I think they will finish bottom. They've won 4 games at qualifying and all 4 were at home. So expectations is very low, Anthony, there, and of course it's all about Son as well, who no doubt will be popular top goal scorer. He'll also be on penalties as well. Yeah, I think they've lost to Northern Ireland and Poland recently as well. So I think a lot of people will be against.
Okay.
South
And Sweden
Korea.
back after a 12-year absence, aren't they? Of course, they last played in 2006. I think Germany knocked them out, didn't they, in the round of 16 then?
No Zlatan, no problem, do you think?
They've got other players. They've got Berg,
They're
they've got
out of form,
Forsberg.
They're out of form.
Forsberg is
They're out of form.
Player.
Okay.
They're all out. Lindelof has been out of form at United, hasn't
Yeah,
he?
hasn't played much, has he?
Yeah,
But yet
Forsberg,
he
Guidetti.
played really well in that 2-leg affair against Italy in the playoffs, didn't
He's
he?
playing well. He's playing
You know,
well for his club,
and
for his country. Sorry.
Yeah.
they
We should
really
mention the
got
Italian. I mean, that was, obviously, not massive, a huge surprise, but they sort of,
Give 'em
the
credit for
second leg
that.
they played very well defensively, didn't they?
Yeah,
to
give
hold
him
out the
2 clean
Italians.
sheets.
Yeah.
So, I have to give him credit for that. Goal scoring, Marcus Berg got 8 in qualifying. 4 of them were against Luxembourg. And Forsberg as well is a player that would look at. He's been linked with
Leipzig
your
player,
mob
isn't
as
he?
well.
Yeah.
Been linked with your mob, Arsenal,
Yeah.
Forsberg as well. So let's see how
South Korea bottom of the group then?
bottom of the group for me.
5 to 6.
Yeah.
Steve?
Could be a bit of value in this. These teams to finish bottom, I think, as we've discussed through the groups, because a lot of these groups, there looks like sort of 3 teams that are a bit above in quality.
It looks a lot easier on paper a lot of the time. I mean,
it won't work out.
For me, it will be Germany and Mexico. I mean, admittedly, I should have done Brazil, Serbia in Group E, Anthony, to be bottom. First and second, Brazil, Serbia at 9 to 4. Yeah,
These-
but
these group forecasts are going to be popular.
Is it going to be where who plays when sort of thing? Korea played Germany last game, and Germany might just take the foot off the
of
pedal
course,
and rest
massively,
players, and maybe they can nick a point or whatever.
And as you said, they'll have an eye on the other group, won't they? Who's likely to finish? Because Germany will obviously want to avoid Brazil. If Brazil do,
there'll be a lot of
win the group.
jostling and of course the draw prices. If both sides need a draw to qualify, you can guarantee they'll be going at a lot shorter price than they currently are. But for me, Germany to win. Mexico, I know Ray likes that a lot. Interested to see how this Lozano does as well. The Gaffer's played a different side in every game that he's done, the Mexican manager, Azario. So it's hardly been a settled side, and they've been knocked out the last 16 stage at 6 World Cups running. And they are 2-1 to be knocked out at the last 16 stage again. But I think that can go through as runners-up.
Okay, so you think Mexico going to go through as runners-up, but you're thinking
15 to 8, Germany. Yeah, I do like Korea to finish bottom,
Korea
but
bottom,
yeah.
But a Germany-Mexico straight forecast for you.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah,
for Ray.
I'm with that.
Dean, how are you thinking?
Yeah, Mexico. We like Mexico. Yeah,
Would you play the forecast or to qualify?
We're going to play the forecast. Yep, Germany, Mexico. I think it's 2-1.
15 to 8.
15 to 8.
Yeah, it was 2s until you mentioned it.
Yeah, now everyone's got it.
Admittedly, we should have gone 5 to 2, but yeah.
So you don't rate Sweden? You don't think they're going to?
No, I think Sweden are solid but unspectacular. I think is the best way to describe them. Mexico,
Got a
they're
few more
front
goals in
three. Front three of Mexico are
They've
quite
got this
exciting.
Corona who scored 3 in qualification. Well, who's this
But
Corona?
also,
as well,
Mexico are
scored 3 in
very good at
qualification?
changing the system. They can play 2 solid midfielders in there and see games out at times as well.
And they've made it past the group stage every year since '66. Mexico. They always get to that second level, don't they? And then sort of go out in the round of 16. But they've made it through the groups every time. So we're all going to go with this.
We're all, and
Mexico
you've got to realise
follow
as
Germany
well
through.
that the Javier Hernandez that you'll see for Mexico
Totally
is not
different.
the same one that you see
For West Ham.
in the Premier
He
League.
won't be a lone
You know,
striker.
No.
It'll be a lot of
And
players around.
Raul Jimenez again, and Lozano, you know, supporting him up front.
I think Hernandez needs 2 to become Mexico's greatest ever World Cup scorer as well, which would be a big incentive. Not that you'll need one for a World Cup, but every chance he'll get 2. Steve, wouldn't you imagine?
Yeah, good career, good goal scorer, and this is his chance to on the big stage. And I do think Mexico could have a good World Cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm liking a lot.
I'm tempted by the 1-3 Germany. I'll play it simple just to win the group. I'll have a little £9 to win 3 on that. So the boys, they're more adventurous. They're all playing the Germany-Mexico straight forecast in Group F. And Steve having a few quid as well on South Korea at 5 to 6 to be bottom of Group F. Let's move on, shall we, to Group G. We've discussed this obviously in length already with England, how far they're going to go. We're expecting England and Belgium to qualify, aren't we, Dean? I mean, we can't see any surprises in this group.
Yeah, I mean, we discussed this already, haven't we? Belgium, England looks...
Which way round would you play it?
You've got to go Belgium, England. I think it's... is that 11 to 8? Steve, is that about that price, the straight forecast?
It is.
I think Steve's the other way around, though, aren't you, Steve?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I know Steve fancies England to top the group, but for me, it's got to be Belgium over England at 11-8.
Yeah, I'm going Belgium. I think Belgium's just have a little bit too much. I think there'd be goals in that last game. Obviously, going into that last game, they'd hopefully be playing for who comes first and second. But as long as England qualify, but I just think Belgium, they could be, potentially on paper, they could be a very, very strong nation in this World Cup. It's whether Martinez can get the best and get the positioning right for the players to get the best out of them. De Bruyne, the way they plays for Man City, they get the best out of him. And that's why Martinez has got to really come up with a system that fits Hazard, De Bruyne,
I'm thinking even Hazard.
sort of
I mean, if he's at the top of his game, he could be the player of the tournament.
He could be looking for a move
He's
as well.
fantastic.
Yeah. This could be a big tournament for
There'll
a lot
be a few
of
there, won't there? Shaqiri will be
a lot of players will be
yeah.
on it. It's a shop window for players. And Hazard, we know about the contract talks with Chelsea, whether it's going to happen or not. But Real Madrid will be sniffing around, and if he has a really good World Cup, that could be the difference in moving away or probably maybe staying at Chelsea. Who knows?
I wonder here if there's an angle in as to who finishes bottom in this group.
Panama
do we fancy Panama or because Tunisia, as you said, they've got a lot of injuries. Tunisia,
49 Panama, bet 3.
Really? Panama, yeah.
What about Tunisia then? What can I back them to be?
15-8.
15-8. Okay. Tempting Tunisia, isn't it?
That
But
is.
we expect you're going to go for Belgium to beat England. Forecast, or do you
Belgium,
play Belgium to win
England,
the group?
straight forecast, 11-8.
Yeah, I'm going to go Belgium,
Belgium
to win the group. Yeah. England second.
Okay, 11-8 straight forecast for Dean and Ray. Steve, I know you're very much holding the England flag above you. You thinking they're going to win the group?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose you'd be going the other way and just backing England first and Belgium second, I suppose, at 7-4, as opposed to backing England to win the group at 6-5 when you look at Tunisia and Panama. So I'll be going down that route as well.
Okay, so Steve's going the other way round for the forecast. He's going to go England to beat Belgium. Ray Parlour and Dean Goddard both going with Belgium to beat England, but both the big names going safely through in Group G. One more group to have a look at for us here on the Free Super Tips World Cup preview is Group H. This perhaps the trickiest of the groups, I thought, Stephen. Certainly the most open in terms of the betting. Colombia, what are they, 8-5? That sort of price, 6-4. Poland second favourites, Senegal third in.
Yeah, and I've been saying, so I keep chopping and changing. I think Colombia are going to win it. I think Poland are going to win it. And they think, well, they've got Lewandowski in the side. You know, he always scores a truckload of goals, but he got one goal at Euro 2012. He got one in 2016. He got 16 in qualifying when they scored 28 goals, them to be fair. But on the flip side of that, they conceded 14 goals, which is the most by a team that have qualified. So the question marks defensively. Of course, Denmark beat them 4-0 as well, and that was their worst result in 15 years. I saw a lot of Krakowiak this season for Poland, and I was really disappointed, I have to say. I thought
West Bromwich Albion?
Yeah, I thought he was one of the flops of the season.
PSG as well. I don't know how he got away to PSG.
Yeah, he's probably on the same as you got a fee for this, Ray. You know, a real 6-figure salary. You know, he's on.
This is
you did get 6 figures, didn't you? No, but
No, he got less than you for it.
I did. No, that's all right. But if Lewandowski turns up, he's a world-class centre forward. Grzycki, another Pole who does really well for his team, he's had a poor season at Hull. He's a good player, him. The goalkeeping situation as well. There's Chesney there and Fabianski, Glicker as well. They've got some good players.
Yeah.
And I think on their day, then I could see them topping the group at 7-4, Enzo. To be honest with you, I mean Senegal. Let's not forget about them, third favourites. Ali Sissou, who's their manager, used to be at Birmingham City back in the early 2000s, and they got. I think he might have scored as well. They got to the quarters in 2002. Ghana Gay plays for them. Coyote as well that we know about. Undai, who Stoke signed. Yeah. For the bad season that they've had, he's been a real plus point. I think he's a very, very good player.
Strong,
yeah. Mamdouf works hard, but unfortunately lacks quality in front of goal. And of course, they've got Mane as well, who's a class act as well. Right off Senegal at your peril, I presume.
Yeah, no,
it's a real tough group.
This is one of the toughest
And
ones.
interesting, of course, they wouldn't know each other that well because they're from 4 different corners of the world, aren't they, these 4, from 4 different confederations. They wouldn't have encountered each other, Ray, that often.
No, absolutely. And it's a really tough one. I think most of the groups are pretty straightforward for me.
This is definitely the hardest
this one could go either way. I mean, you can't write Senegal off at all. I mean, some of their players they've got good quality, but I'd probably lead this group alone if I'm being honest. But if I had to pick one, no, I wouldn't be confident in this one at all. I mean, I would probably go Colombia and Poland, maybe to go through. Maybe just have a little bit too much for Senegal. and Japan. Again, Japan are not a bad side, but they'll be a little bit out of their depth in this group. So I don't want Priceout to come bottom Japan.
6-5, I think. 6-4.
Yeah, so 6-4 might be the bet for Japan to
Yeah.
come bottom of the group. I don't think they're playing great at the
They've
moment.
won 3 of the last 12. Japan.
Yeah, so
So
the other
they're
three
in bad,
look above them,
they're in
don't they?
bad form at the moment. So
Yeah.
I would probably, if I had a
play
bet on
that
this
way.
group, I would go Japan bottom.
Japan to be bottom, 6-4.
New
Yes.
manager in as well, and they might be a little bit underprepared. So
Yeah.
Too well, we've got a Finnish bottom hacker rolling up here. haven't
yeah.
we? We've got
We'll
about
come to our
five.
group hacker in a few moments, but Dean, I want to get your thoughts on this. I mean, obviously, I fancy Colombia to go a long way in it, so I'm going to back them to win. What, they 6-4 to win it? Did you say the group, Steve?
Wrist.
5-4.
Yeah.
I think Colombia will win.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Second place, I'm not too sure between Poland and Senegal, but how do you see it?
No, we like Poland.
Strongly.
Yeah, we do like Poland. I think they've got a really strong team all the way through. They've got
I think they're good down the spine. They're quite strong in
Lucas
midfield.
Piszczek at the back. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation. Glick as well. In midfield, Błaszczykowski, Milik up front, Lewandowski.
He's carrying a knock, hasn't he? Unfortunately for him. But it's a good side, Dean. Admittedly,
It is,
I'm looking at
it's a
this, I'm
very
thinking,
good side.
should Poland be favourites? And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
well, look how many goals they conceded, and Lewandowski. But you've got him in your team.
Yeah.
I think the bookmakers are more or less going Poland, Colombia, either way.
Yeah.
Mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Senegal did reach the quarterfinals in 2002.
Yes.
I mean, they have had a good World Cup before. That was obviously a long time ago now, but
Yeah, Senegal, as we mentioned, Mane in there. I mean, it's imperative he stays fit, though, isn't he? I mean, he's had a bit of trouble with his hamstring. They
He'll
can't
be
do
there.
without him.
Yeah.
It might be a bit of
Colombia.
value, no? Senegal, maybe punters will be looking
Yeah.
to maybe upset each other, Poland and Colombia. Something that goes wrong in one of them games, and Senegal can take advantage.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Colombia, they use 45 players in qualifying. So, I mean, does Peckerman even know his best side? That could be one issue with them. We like Poland.
to win the group,
Yeah, we like Poland to win the group.
7-4, Steve.
We're
Yes.
putting Colombia
7-4.
in as a forecast.
Poland, Colombia forecast for Dean.
we're
in
going
free
for a
super
bit.
tips.
Well, because if the group, so this is probably the hardest group
Yeah.
to work out. So there's no point going for a short one. Let's go for a bit of value. Poland, Colombia, straight forecast 4-1. I think that
But
is.
what about, you think Japan will be bottom as well, 6-4?
Japan will be bottom.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to go for a Poland, Colombia straight forecast. Ray, you're
I'm
playing.
going to go Colombia to win the group and Japan to come bottom.
You like that 6-4 as well, don't you? Japan to come bottom, but Colombia to win the group for Ray. I'm going Colombia to win the group. Steve, what's your bet for the group?
Can I say no bet?
It's on the fence again. Come on.
You might as well say Senegal.
Japan to finish bottom.
Okay, yeah,
6-4.
popular choice. That'd be 6-4 then. There we go. Steve going for Japan to finish bottom. Ray Parlour, Japan to finish bottom, and Colombia to win the group. And Dean Goddard is going for a Poland, Colombia straight forecast in there. He does like Poland to win the group as well at 7-4. That's the group stages all covered then. Sounds so simple, doesn't it? There you go. That's your guide to the groups for the World Cup in Russia 2018.